You're probably wondering what happens then if it does erupt.
You die.
You die. Hello everyone, my name is Chrome Falcon, my friends know me as Zane, and this is Barry.
I'm Barry.
We are Two Men in a Bunker. Today we're going to talk about
supervolcanoes.
Specifically, the Yellowstone Supervolcano. Now many of you think of Yellowstone National Park as a lovely place to take your family.
Murder Mountain.
Murder Mountain is a good thing to call it. It's a dangerous place full of wolves, mountain lions, grizzly bears, buffalo.
I've never been and will never go.
And a supervolcano. That's right, folks. Right here in our own homeland, the United States of America, there is a simmering threat underneath the surface.
Right, but most of us, even if it did erupt, would be unaffected.
That's not true, actually, Barry. That's actually completely false.
If you live close enough to a sea or an ocean or a body of water, that's why I don't live. Nobody should live.
Nobody should live near
where there's mountains.
Anywhere. The center of the United States is nothing but a death zone if this were to occur.
Well, now, if we're talking about the sea levels rising, you want to be in the center of the United States?
Right.
At the same time, basically, if we're having a polar ice cap situation and a supervolcano, you really have to do your extra homework.
And we've got a plan for that as well. If those two events were to occur simultaneously, we'll get into that in another video.
There's a very good chance of multiple doomsday events occurring at one time.
High probability.
No
actually.
one talks about that. Everyone has their thing, their little pet project.
Yeah.
We prepare for all of them at all times.
And prepare for all of them occurring simultaneously as well.
Which is why we live in Mississippi and will never leave Mississippi, because if the polar ice caps were to melt, we're far enough inland to where we go towards Yellowstone, for example.
Right.
But not if it's erupting.
Right.
We don't live in the mountains because that's just full of volcanoes.
Exactly. That's exactly right, Barry. Yeah. Great points. Great points.
I appreciate that.
I do want to talk about a historic supervolcano that we may
Mount Vesuvius.
Yes, that's the one, actually.
That's the only one I know.
Vesuvius has been through 8 major eruptions over the past 17,000 years. If you live in southern Italy, it's time to get out, because that can happen again.
Mount Vesuvius is 100% risk. That's a good 10 out of 10 right now.
Absolutely. If you're Italian, get out of there.
No one should live there. No one should live in Italy.
What's the level of risk we're facing with Yellowstone? Now, scientists believe that every 600,000 to 700,000 years, Yellowstone has a massive eruption, a supervolcanic eruption.
Well, how long has it been?
It's been about 640,000 years, which puts us right in the zone.
So we have a few decades.
Oh no, we may be overdue. We're right in that middle range. Yellowstone supervolcano eruption could happen at any time. And that's the bottom line. That's the science. So you can look it up. Maybe we'll post links to that information for you.
It could be another 100,000 years, though.
Unlikely. I think that's unlikely.
I guess that's what we're discussing here.
Right, exactly.
Percentages and probabilities.
You're probably wondering what happens then if it does erupt.
You die.
You die. If you're in that area, you're probably going to die.
Yeah, don't live in the mountains.
Pyroclastic flows coming at you. 50
what is
miles.
that?
That is a superheated lava and rock and ash and dust barreling out of this volcano at extreme force. It's just going to blow right over you, suffocate you, knock your house down.
So it's just lava.
You can't outrun it.
It's fast lava.
Lava and rock and dust and ash.
Radiation.
Poison gases.
Oh dear.
So you're looking at rivers turned to mud. You're looking at the destruction of Midwestern agriculture.
I kind of feel like they boil, though.
They may.
They just dry up, then you don't have any drinking water.
Some of them right near the volcano would
probably
probably
got all that ash
boil.
in your lungs and you're thirsty.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to breathe.
Yeah.
Which is why it's important to, if you're ever...
Move.
Yeah.
It's important to move.
Absolutely. If you're in that area...
If you live near mountains, if you can see mountains from your house...
If you're within 500 miles...
You gotta assume that they're all volcanic.
500 miles of Yellowstone, I'd get out. I would absolutely get out now.
I'd say a good 1,500 miles from Yellowstone, I'd get out.
To be safe, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sell your house.
The Arctic Circle.
And get out while somebody else wants to buy it. So basically what we're getting at is if you live anywhere in the center of the United States near Murder Mountain, Yellowstone Supervolcano, you need to get out now while there's still time before the real estate market in that area collapses, because when this video blows up, people are going to be moving en masse. You will not be able to sell your home. You may be financially destitute. So take this advice immediately. Sell your home, get out of that region. And we'll tell you where to move later.
Yeah, while it's still a desirable area, you don't disclose the supervolcano in the backyard the same way you wouldn't disclose a murder in an apartment.
Right. Exactly.
You know, that's nobody's business, and it's gonna your home values will plummet if you were to do that. So,
or if your home were haunted, you wouldn't want to tell someone that. Although you may be legally obligated to disclose it depending on your state.
I don't think so. I mean, if you don't have to disclose a murder, then I don't think you have to disclose the ghosts.
Well, I think there's probably some rule on that, isn't there? If they say, is this because of the supervolcano? Maybe you say, no, it's because...
What's supervolcano? I don't know what you're talking about.
No, the house is
hiking
haunted.
And fishing and hunting.
Say there was a murder inside, and they'll be more likely to get it. So you may be asking yourself, well, how do I prepare? I'm still in the danger zone. And basically, the whole United States is a danger zone. There's going to be an ash cloud that covers all of the United States. Barry and I have been talking about this a lot recently because, well, his wife is trying to convince him that they have to go on a family vacation to Yellowstone.
Ground zero, basically.
Come on, kids. Let's go.
I think she's crazy.
Set up a tent in the pits of hell.
I've told her. She knows the statistics.
So I'm trying to help Barry talk her out of it, but so far
she's irresponsible. She's an irresponsible woman, and I love her. But
the only other thing I can do to help Barry in this situation is to prepare him for the inevitable. So his entire family should have full face respirators in the car at all times.
Cannot afford that.
He can't afford that at this time.
I've spent all my money on this trip to Murder Mountain.
Unfortunately, he's having to rent a small economy car with very little storage space.
I can't bring any of my prepper stuff.
The car is going to be filled with water.
And people.
And his family. One thing he definitely needs, though, is an N95 respirator. 3M makes them. That'll filter particulate.
I think that I'll be just fine with my handkerchief. One of the things that I like to do is I spray it with some type of hairspray or shellacking material. And so it basically works the same as that. I already own this. All of my family members have
advise against that, Barry.
Handkerchiefs or T-shirts.
You should carry a handkerchief, so that is a good idea. But I definitely advise against that. You're better off with something like this.
So what I do though,
survival respiration device that you can pull out. You can plug your nose, insert this in your mouth. And you should have them for your kids. Don't forget them.
You could always let me borrow that for the trip.
We'll discuss that. I've only got so many.
If you're really that worried about me.
I've only got 4.
So anyway, I put that shellacking material on here, and basically what that does is it acts as a particulate filter. So I can put it just like this, and you hold it tight. You hold it tight to your nose, and you can run. Now, the particulates can't get in. Also, your CO2, your breath, can't get out. So every several feet, you're running, and you just take a big breath, a couple breaths here and there. I think you're going to be okay.
I generally advise against that.
Our lungs are filters, and I think that
that's incorrect, Barry. That's incorrect.
I feel like they're filters.
They're not. Yeah, no. That's a terrible idea, actually.
So you could let me borrow maybe some of your masks for my family.
I might have to do that.
I could rent them at a very low cost.
Yeah. So flashlights. You're not going to be able to see anything. GPS will still work if it's only a supervolcano, so you can use that to navigate. Make sure you have backup battery power, plenty of fuel. I've advised Barry to strap several fuel canisters to the roof of this economy rental car, as well as to the trunk. His trunk will be full of bottled water, and water purification isn't going to do you much good if the rivers turn to mud.
Or boil.
Yeah, which, who knows?
Well, they'll be purified if they boil, though.
That's true, but they won't be there.
They'll be too hot to drink.
They'll be in the air, evaporated as clouds.
And then you have acid rain.
Then you have acid rain.
This is just getting worse.
It is. Bottom line, don't go to Yellowstone. Don't ever take a vacation in that area.
You're irresponsible if you bring your family to Yellowstone.
If you're Barry in his situation, you got to prepare for the worst.
I don't want to get a divorce, so I kind of have to.
Right. Barry's in a tight situation.
We haven't been on vacation in 7 years, but I have spent upwards of $100,000 on prepping.
So sometimes you encounter these scenarios, and you've got to do your best to plan.
So the probability, one of those scenarios where you have multiple at once.
Multiple at once.
Polar ice cap.
Very high likely.
Mount Vesuvius, potential asteroid.
That combination, the numbers I've run on that would be around 42% chance
of all three occurring at once.
All three occurring at once within the next 20 years.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
It is.
That's pretty high. But what about just the supervolcano erupting? What would be your
I'd say maybe around a 7% chance.
So you think a 7% chance just for the supervolcano, but a 40% chance for a supervolcano, polar ice caps melting, and asteroid.
Asteroid, yeah.
Is that because obviously we're experiencing a very significant climate change event, which is causing them all to happen, so therefore that number will be higher because of the other stuff, then the other stuff happens.
Exactly.
The asteroid is kind of a wild card.
Right, but that could cause all the other things. That's why I had to do some different calculations in there. It's complicated. I can't get into the numbers right now. Maybe in another video.
What if the asteroid hit? Where would it have to hit?
We'll get into that in another video, Barry.
It's
way too detailed. It's complicated mathematics. Bottom line is, I'm going to say 7% chance of the Yellowstone eruption.
And you can trust him because he has blackboards all over his trailer. And they're just covered in numbers. So I'm pretty sure this is the guy you want to talk to if you want to know the truth. So I'm going to say 7% also. 4 out of 10.
Well, you're right. Well, folks, thank you. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you subscribe and become part of our prepper community. We may have to band together and, yeah.
There is a 7% chance that I will never see any of you again or be able to talk to you again because I am going next week to Yellowstone. If that is the case, I just want to let you know that I've really enjoyed being here for you guys and helping y'all to prepare the same way that I do my family and that Zane has done for me. He's really leading the way. He's an excellent mentor. I appreciate everything you do.
Thank you, Barry. Thanks. That means a lot, man.
Well, it means a lot that you care about me and that you want my family to survive.
We're going to get you through this.
Are you going to let me borrow those air filters?
Yeah, yeah, I will.
All right.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah, we're going to get you through this. Well, thanks, folks. We are two men in a bunker. Stay safe.